Hello, everybody, and this is the Mimic Pro walkthrough through Stukent. This is just going to be the first round that we will walk through today, but I've received a lot of questions from students who have had trouble getting the results they were looking for out of the first round. And I'm here to show you kind of what to expect and also what also to look for as you're walking through the first round of the simulation. Now, the idea behind Mimic Pro, of course, is it's a pay-per-click paid search campaign that you're going to be running. And we're going to quickly go through the introductory stuff just because that's really for you, the student. We're really going to dig into the actual creation of content to make sure that you're on the right track and that you have the best practices down so that you don't get through round one and get all discouraged based on the results. So we'll start with Mimic Pro and we start with a video walkthrough. You can watch that. And you go through the scenario, the brief, and all of this stuff from the company that's hired you. That's Bowie. Or not Bowie, sorry, Kent's Camera Castle. Bowie is the company that you work for in the Mimic social simulation, as well as the Mimic content marketing and several other Mimic simulations. So I'll let you go through all of this. You can go through all that on your own. This is a really helpful first round because it kind of walks you through everything. You can go through the introduction, your products. It's important to keep in mind what these products are that you're going to be selling. And then from there, you get into the keyword research side. You can look at the tips, and then it shows you all of the keywords that you have. So we start with the keyword selection process. And keep in mind, I would recommend first off, writing down the 3 names of the cameras that you're going to be selling. First off, GoPro Hero 7, Canon Rebel T7I, Panasonic Lumix DMC LX10K. And also keeping in mind what exactly they are, right? GoPro, I mean, they're all cameras, of course. That went a little too far here. GoPro, of course, is a camera. The Canon, they're all cameras, but of course, thinking about what it is that they do, and kind of what you want to do a little. You want to think about what makes these products great, because you are going to have to actually write ad copy a little bit further down the line. Now, they do go through the fundamentals of PPC advertising, but a couple quick hints for you. When choosing your actual keywords, you want to make sure that you are thinking about the buyer who's going to be searching here. When you're looking at keywords, you can think about buyers, people that might be researching products, people who might just be browsing and looking for things, but not necessarily making a purchase. But the goal of this whole thing is to have conversions and ultimately to make profit, revenue and profit, which means you really need to think about keywords that people who are actively looking to buy the cameras would be searching for. Additionally, you want to make sure that you're providing people with what they're actually looking for. So putting having keywords with the wrong names of of different types of GoPros, for example, is not going to be a good strategy. It might help a little bit, but that's not, you don't want to just pick every keyword imaginable. And there's also bids. There's pricing bids here. You do have a budget. You have your suggested bids. Stukent is going to recommend that you don't go any more than 10% above or below the suggested bid. And based on what I've seen, I mean, you can go a little bit more or less, but I would not go in and bid for like, put a $10 bid on all these keywords, or else you're really going to fall flat. A lot of students who may not have seen good results, or maybe not even had any conversions, or hey, my ad didn't even appear, but the quality was great. That is largely due to poor bidding, or the keyword just does not match up with the rest of the campaign. So the bidding is partially part of it too. Also, keep in mind what the competition in the average monthly searches is. You want to have a nice blend and a balance of keywords with high, medium, and low competition. And you also want to make sure that you have a blend of you want a variety of monthly search volume. Having all keywords with an average monthly search volume of 20 is not going to get you a lot of impressions, which is not going to get you a good opportunity to have conversions. Instead, you want to have a good balance between those with lower monthly searches and higher monthly searches. So you don't have to select all of your keywords on that page, by the way. You'll be able to edit those later. But then it takes you kind of to the next step of the campaign, which is creating the website. You're not actually creating a website. This is a simulation, so you're going to be entering in the most important information. They go through what those items are. They give you a quick look at the landing pages that exist, kind of giving you a good overview of what you're going to be building. Finally, you have the search campaign. They go through all of these. They're going to have you create a campaign as well. And you can also, if you're looking for more about these campaigns, the idea of this whole simulation is to really mimic, hence the name, a Google AdWords campaign. And so you can go and check out the Google support for campaign creation here as well if you would like to learn more. Again, this video is just to give you a quick walkthrough of round one. The idea is it's not intended to teach you everything about pay-per-click advertising. It's really just to help you get a good overview. Additionally, there is a student guide that Stukent created. And if you've never done PPC advertising, I highly recommend reading both of that and this campaign creation page. Those are both going to really help you get a good grasp and just a general understanding of what it is that you're doing. It's really important that you do that up front, because going into this with only a couple of hours of knowledge, or having read a couple of things online, is really not going to be enough. This is designed to go with the Digital Marketing Essentials textbook with Stukent. That's a good overview for you. You can also, for the UVM students that are watching this video, the PPC module from MindEdge is really going to be key in understanding that before you start with Stukent. Obviously, if you have done PPC advertising in the past, then this all will look fairly straightforward. But keep in mind too, you're not starting from zero here, because it is a simulation. Everything that you are doing, you're going to be putting together the variables, and the idea is that you are learning essentially the best practices that go with PPC advertising. This is not something where you need to create an account, you need to build a website from scratch, where you need to build an email campaign from scratch. No, those are all going to be partially set up for you. It's really important, though, that you are putting in the pertinent information that builds a consistent campaign with a consistent messaging from start to finish. So you'll go down and create the campaign. I strongly recommend a budget of at least $3,000. I know it's a max of $5,000. You could go up to the max, but if you think that you do not have to balance this budget over the course of 10 rounds, that is not what you have to worry about here. Even if you do put $5,000 as your max, it's pretty unlikely that the simulation is going to spend it all in round one. So I usually start with $3,000, and then I go in, and I've already got some ad groups set up here because it takes a little while. It's really important that you do create one ad group per product. Again, you can go back to the cameras and take a look at them. get a better understanding for what they are. But it's really important that you are addressing the different camera types. If you only do one, you're obviously going to be limited in how successful you can get. Now, a big thing to understand here as well is that the simulation is going to use the exact match keyword functionality. So keyword spacing is going to be important as well. So for example, with the GoPro, and I'm taking this, by the way, I'm speaking directly from the instructor guide here. So this is not my instruction. This is actually from Stukent. But what they're saying is that if you think about the GoPro Hero, it's spelled GoPro space hero, right? But then if your keyword is Go space Pro space hero, and then you have another keyword that is GoPro space hero, that second one that is properly set up is going to be the one that gets the results. The other one might get some results, sure. There are people that search for that, but that is not going to be the real bell cow for your campaign. Also, you want to make sure that you're not using other brands in your keyword research. There's like, let's say the Canon Rebel, if you try to use keywords that have like Nokia, for example, or if you really want to go back in time, Kodak, those aren't going to fly in this simulation. In the real world, sure, you can try to cannibalize other brands, and that is a major strategy in PPC, but that is not something that Stukent is really looking for in this. You really want to focus on the brand itself, but you also want a blend of branded and non-branded keywords. So yes, GoPro Hero Pro is great, sure. But you also want to think about what else do people search for. Maybe they don't even know what GoPro Hero is. Maybe they're just looking for a camera to use when they're out hiking. Maybe they're looking to buy something that's durable and can handle the weather. You want to think about those different situations that could land a buyer. I understand that the non-branded keywords are going to also fall into the brand awareness category when you think about keywords. But you definitely need to have a balance of branded and non-branded keywords. I'm not going to walk through what exactly those are. That is really for you to decide. But you'll notice as I scrolled down there, I probably had 20 to 25 keywords per ad group, which is really critical because you want to make sure that you're better off having too many keywords than too few, as long as you avoid the pitfalls that I mentioned earlier in terms of competing brand names. You can have, knowing that it's exact match, you can try the different varieties of words, but just know that most of the results are going to come from a good mix of branded and non-branded keywords, and also those that have you want a variety of keywords that are high volume, medium volume, and low volume, as well as the same for competition level. Finally, and I will go back really quickly on this, when you're creating the actual ads, you want to make sure that you're providing a consistent brand and a consistent message to the searcher from start to finish. So if they search Canon Rebel, whatever the name of the camera is, making sure that the ad text has that, and that that name is also included in the URL and in the description. And then as we'll see on the web page and the email, those are all really vital to a successful campaign. Even in the real world, Google will look at all of that. Google does look at, okay, what does this landing page look like? What else is going on? They want to make sure that they're not allowing false advertising on their platform. So the consistent message is going to be really critical to any successful campaign. So if you're going to be having an ad that goes right to the Canon Rebel, whatever the letters and numbers were at the end, Make sure to refer to it as such from start to finish. Make sure that you have the right name. It's easy to get those mixed up, but ensuring a consistent and seamless experience for the end user is going to really help your performance when it's all said and done. So next, you're going to have an email campaign that they walk you through. You can go through this yourself. It's a pretty basic email builder. I barely did anything on this first test. I just put in some text. I put in some graphics. They give you all these options. Again, the email text needs to reflect, and the subject line needs to reflect what it is that you're putting in the ad. When I first did this, it was right around Cyber Monday, so I thought I'll just fly with that. I made the text about one of my ad groups to be about Cyber Monday, and you get these deals. Then I carried over and did the same thing in my emails. Making sure that you do something like that is going to be good for you. Now, finally, you're going to go through the budget review. It's going to let you do that. Again, they're going to charge you for emails as well. It's not a huge expense, not a big thing. But just to kind of recap, this is what they say the remaining budget will be. It's not guaranteed it's going to use it all. There's a good chance that it won't. Maybe they'll only use $900. It really depends on how strong your campaigns are. So another thing on the email before we wrap this up is that from what I have seen so far, I've been teaching this simulation for several years, and most students do pretty well in the email campaigns, but it goes without saying that the subject line is of the utmost importance here. There's only so much that you can edit in the email piece of the simulation. That is, you can edit. You have the campaign, you have a list that you're sending it to, you have a template, and you have a subject line. That's really it. And so you first need to get people to open the email. So you need an engaging subject line, and then you need people to click through and make a purchase. That's where you're going to get some of your profit. And so that subject line really is a major piece of the puzzle here. And that makes, again, making sure it's consistent, making sure that there's no spam, don't have a bunch of exclamation points, and don't have grammatical errors, of course. So that's about it there. Just before I walk through here, I just want to take one last look here at the website setup. Remember, you have web pages that you're looking at. You want to make sure that the page that you are advertising is matching with the ad, and making sure that you are really providing some strong ad messaging. When it's all said and done and you submit, the simulation will give you a thumbs up and green if you have a good ad quality. If you have that, then your ad is good. If you have a red thumbs down, well, then you know that the problem was not in your keyword selection or your targeting. It was really in the development of the ad itself. So that's about it in terms of the walkthrough. I just meant for this to be a quick introduction to round one. Again, there's 10 rounds. Each round is going to have they're going to have different prompts. It's important to read the introduction to each round. The way that the simulation is set up is that your boss, per se, they may have some different situations for you. You're going to want to vary your keywords, create some new ads as you go along. They may have a specific situation for you, like, hey, we want a holiday sale. Go create some AdWords for the holiday sale. But really, once you get a grasp of round one, and if you do okay, that sets the groundwork for the rest of the simulation. And the struggles that I have seen with students so far is that they don't do well in round one, and then they max out all of their keyword bids, or they try to use too many keywords or too few keywords. Maybe they they oversell on the ad quality, and really this first round and a successful round one is going to really help you and give you the confidence you need to get through the rest of the simulation successfully. If you have any other questions, again, they have a ton of good content on Mimic that you can use for instructions. And those are available either through the scenario or also through the entry page there, the introduction. So thank you very much, and best of luck.